What is up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome back to another live stream. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the comment section how you guys are, man. So tonight's live stream, we will be talking about the Tacoma because I will be going on a quick little trip and I do not have the truck back yet. So that will be probably a week or so down the road is when I get to officially do that Tacoma video for you guys. But the dealership did give me some information, so we will talk about that in a little bit in this video. And then, like every other live stream, it's whatever questions you guys have. I try to keep up as well as possible. Sometimes a lot of the comments start to get away from me, but you guys ask questions, I answer them to the best of my ability, and I don't just give kind of like quick answers. I like to elaborate on some stuff, because you guys are taking time out of your night to hang out with me, so I want to give you the best answer possible. And if I do not answer your question in a timely manner, don't spam it. I usually go about 5, 10, 15 minutes behind sometimes, so if you just want to listen to this live stream, we don't typically put stuff on the screen unless some people have some good questions about some certain things. We may throw some stuff up on the screen, and we'll probably go for about an hour tonight, but we will let some more people come on in before we start talking about the taco real fast. Got some water because we just got done walking the dogs. And Freedom at Risk says this is probably based on the thumbnail for this live stream to remove the air dams. So I have removed the two front air dams on the Land Cruiser, or as I like to call them, like kind of like little canard pieces. I know it's not like a body kit, but they remind me kind of like of a little canard on like a front bumper on like a tuner car. So I did remove those. We are rubbing just ever so slightly still on the actual fender itself. I feel like the Tacoma has a bit more room to play around with bigger tires in its stock form than the Land Cruiser does. And we were rubbing just a little bit on the back piece of the Land Cruiser, which I didn't catch until I was putting on the other tires, and I already put like all my film equipment away, but I will talk about that in a future video. And that video for the Land Cruiser with the bigger tires and everything on it should be dropping on Wednesday. But what is up, everyone? As you are coming in, say what's up, leave a like, I appreciate it. Cordetti, how's it going, man? If you guys are interested in any of Toyota Tundra stuff, Cordetti has an SR Tundra, and he is also a member of the channel, so I like to shout him out all the time because he is supporting me above and beyond. Jeff, how's it going? HT, the Land Cruiser, is doing great. Daniel, what is up? How's it going? Christoph, what is up? Raul in here too. Bill Bob, how's it going? I have not seen any Tacoma hybrids yet on the street. I have not seen any of them. They should they should be out already. We did that drive event, man, like a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago now, and typically they should be rolling out. And I'm not sure about this one, Cyrus. All I know is the round headlights are very good on the Land Cruiser. I'm not sure if the rectangular ones are any better. That would be a really cool side-by-side comparison to do. I know that the fleet in Atlanta has a normal Land Cruiser grade coming eventually. They order a bunch of cars, just like dealerships order cars and stuff, and they make their way into the press fleet and stuff. And the press fleet that I am part of, it's based out of Atlanta. They have a 1958. They also have a normal Land Cruiser grade. So it'd be cool to get both of those to really kind of compare to the first edition. And then they do have a couple of GXs. So whenever those come into the fleet, I am all about those to compare Land Cruiser versus GX versus 5th Gen 4Runner. Not sure if I'll have the 6th Gen 4Runner at that time whenever all that happens, but it'd be cool to just compare all those together. Tom, what is up from Birmingham? Loving the channel. I just got a 24 Tundra in January. Did I dodge the bullet? I hope you did. I have seen some people having issues on 2024s as well. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is just going to be a complete overhaul. That's why I haven't also made a video on it, just because there's so much stuff that's just up in the air. And I was traveling when that initial recall information came out, so I didn't make a video. And then when I logged on to YouTube, 15 people had videos going. I was like, all right, I don't need to add to this, because the last time with the fuel line recall, It took me like 3 days to make that video because I was running behind on some things, and it like was a 10 of 10 video. It really wasn't worth my time to make. So that's how I felt with this Tundra engine issue. But if there's any new information that comes out, like the NHTSA report that came out a couple days ago, and Tundra Do 34, he covered it very well on his channel, going through all 6 pages of that recall with that NHTSA report. I got that NHTSA thing as well. I was like, see, no one's talking about this right now. That would have been good to make a video. But again, I had a lot of stuff going on and I didn't sit down to make it. And then Mark beat me to it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let Mark have this because he did a really good job breaking it down. But I hope you are in the clear, Tom. I just checked my door seal on my truck. It was built February of 23, and the initial recall that's out there right now, I believe it ends on like February 16th. So my truck was like literally just after that. So I'm not sure if eventually it's going to be all trucks, if they're going to start having issues with more 23s and 24s. I don't know. There's so much unknown about all this right now. It's kind of crappy. Keith, what is up, man? Deposit holding on a 24 Land Cruiser, which I'll pick up once this quality hold lifts. Probably 4 to 6 weeks. Oh my gosh, dude. Looking forward to your info and experiences so far. That is wild. So the whole reason I got this Land Cruiser and not the other Land Cruiser that I wanted is I didn't know if there was going to be a quality hold, but there was like rumblings going on. And the dealership was like, hey, this one, we have it. It's a demo. You can sign some stuff while you're driving. If you want, you can pick this one. It has a little bit extra of stuff on it, but it is in blue. I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm willing to roll the dice on this one just in case there's a quality hold. That's crazy. I didn't know that the quality hold actually like went into effect. So with that quality hold, there's probably like a stop sale on Land Cruisers. Dude, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, I know that it's a bunch of new vehicles and Toyota wants to get them right because they don't want to have this Tundra issue like that plagued it in the very beginning. I get that. But at the same time, quality holds and stuff too, it like just micro adds fuel to that fire and stuff as well, with everyone talking about the brand and everything. But I mean, I guess it's better to fix stuff at the port than have to do another recall and another recall on things if they can. So I guess that's good. JT, the Land Cruiser's doing good, man. I already answered that, my bad. But hey, you got answered twice. How to convince the wife to get the new Land Cruiser for her? Just say, hey, it gets okay gas mileage. It's really nice on the inside. I don't know what vehicles you have, Christoph, but for me, I was like, it's like the 4Runner, but a little bit better. And then, you know, obviously I use it for my YouTube channel and stuff too, but it was pretty nice. She's all about it. She loves that Land Cruiser and stuff. And then when I put the bigger tires on it, she actually liked it a little bit. So we may be putting a lift kit on the Land Cruiser soon too. But we have 120 people in here right now, so I'm just going to answer the Tacoma question real quick for everyone that's in here, and then we will touch on it later. So my truck is at the dealership. It has gotten the 10K mile service done. Oil changed. I know that was a big topic with a lot of people. I can understand, you know, I can understand wanting to get an oil change done earlier, but I did it at 10K. I should have done it a little bit earlier in Las Vegas just because of how like hard I was driving the truck. But I made sure that they checked the oil. I said, hey, is it breaking down too early? Do you guys see shavings in it or whatever? And apparently that dealership checked it and they signed off on it. I could have used the Toyota Care oil change to get done early, but I'm just going based off of what Toyota recommends. That may be unpopular. It may be popular. I don't know. That's how I've always done my vehicles for the last, I don't know, 9 years or 8 years, something like that. But for the check engine light, the grill shutter issue, apparently the dealership has ordered a whole new grill shutter mechanism for the truck. And it was supposed to be here in like 2 days or 3 days. It did not show up. So my truck is still at the dealership, and I will keep you guys posted on if it's ready, if it fixes it. I'll probably post to the community tab because, like I said, I am traveling. So I don't know when we'll get the official update video on the Tacoma, but they have diagnosed it to just being the actual grill shutter itself. That's what the advisor said. It may change once they plug that in. It may be some wiring here and there. I have no idea. But some individuals who have DM'd me and have been talking to me and stuff, sorry, Christoph, your question's still on there. Some of the individuals that have been DMing me said that their vehicle, when they had that issue early on, it was like 3 weeks before they actually got the part. So Toyota told my dealership, like, hey, it's going to be about 2 days. Wasn't sure if that was business days or what. They brought the truck in on Friday. They ordered it. So if that's the case, it will probably be here like Wednesday or Thursday for the Tacoma. But they said that that is what will fix it, is the main actual grill shutter. So that means, unfortunately, the bumper has to come back off. Hopefully, maybe they'll fix some tabs that I broke when they put it back on. We will see. But aside from that, they said the oil change was good. All the fluids were good. The truck is breaking in the way that it should, I guess. I mean, I can only trust them so much, them being a dealership, and hope that they're doing their job the right way that, you know, Toyota trained them to. So everything is good with the Tacoma, and we're just waiting on parts. So if that is all you guys were looking for, hit a thumbs up before you head on out. Have a wonderful night. But aside from that, we are going to keep talking about whatever questions you guys have. So we're going to start off the questions, and again, we're already 9 minutes behind, so I will rapid fire through some of these real quick because we got quite a bit. It looks like you guys are talking to each other. But Raul says, did you compare the Land Cruiser with the GX Premium Plus? They end up around the same price if you don't get the first edition. So originally, before this Land Cruiser first edition, I just wanted a normal Land Cruiser, maybe the premium grade. I will have to build out a GX Premium online just to see exactly what you get. But like the price that I paid for that Land Cruiser, for the most part, I feel like you still do get a little bit more features on the Land Cruiser, but you don't get like acoustic glass or the sound deadening. So there are some things that you still get feature-wise on the Land Cruiser that you would have to pay a little bit more on the GX, but like they're both very, very similar when you start getting up into the higher end models. Bill, congratulations, dude, on the last call 5th gen 4Runner. Heck yeah. TRD John, does the new Land Cruiser have auto start stop? It technically does because it is a hybrid. So when you come to a stop, if the batteries are all nice and juiced up, it will shut down the engine. But I am enjoying the Land Cruiser. Eric says, what was in the Mossberg box? It was just, it was junk mail that I had up in that box. I didn't have anything. I ain't admitting to anything on the internet. Cord Eddie says, I got news on that. So on his SR, I might have a job offer that will be supplying me with a company truck. So I might have to just part ways with the SR. Nothing official yet, but it may happen. Well, if it does happen, dude, I hope that it's a good job. Obviously, they're providing you with the truck, so that helps cut down on a vehicle payment and stuff. And if you get back into the YouTube game, you get back into the YouTube game. And if not, I hope that the new job is well worth it, man. Mitch says, hey, John, will you be putting out a video on the Tundra recall? I'm not sure if you were in here or when this timing was when I just talked about it. Until there's more information, I probably won't. I was a little behind the ball because I was traveling when the initial recall dropped. So I posted on the community tab just about it, that Toyota finally is like, they've recognized this since 2022. March of 2022 is about when the first truck kind of happened. And I didn't make dedicated videos on it. I just kind of talked about it here and there and stuff. And even in my Land Cruiser drive video that I just posted the other day, I don't expect you guys to watch all the videos. But when people comment and they say, John, you're not talking about this, I talk about it. So like in my Land Cruiser drive video, I was talking about the Tundra engine and how it has its issues and stuff. So I do mention it here and there. I just don't make dedicated videos on it. But the recall was something to make a dedicated video on. I was just traveling. We went over to our Airbnb in Panama City Beach for a country concert. And I was really hands off on YouTube to enjoy some time when friends were here. And then when I got on YouTube, saw 15, 20, 30 freaking posts about it. Everyone's posting about it in the Facebook page. And I was like, well, I missed a pretty prime opportunity to make like a very good video. But like, I didn't want to be 3-4 days behind. And if you guys don't watch Mark or Tundra Dude 34, head on over to his YouTube. He broke down the NHTSA report, which is 6 pages long, talking about a lot of good stuff up in there. So I'll just let Mark have that for his views and everything as well. Corey, what is up, man? Howdy, just bought a 24 4Runner SR5 Premium last month. It's paid off already. Heck yeah, dude. Wondering what have-to items, customizations would you do for someone living in rural Appalachians? Rural, probably some different tires. If you need more grippy tires, I would definitely probably go with that first. They don't need to be crazy heavy duty ED load rated tires, but you know, maybe something with like a little bit more grip to them. You could do some tires, and I'm always a big fan of window tint. I'm getting the Land Cruiser window tinted on July 2nd. That is when my appointment is for that. I'm always a big fan of that. Aside from that, man, a center console organizer goes a long way in a 4Runner. And also, I'm not sure if you have pets and stuff, but I could not imagine our 4Runner without the canvas backliner stuff. So that's really nice. You know, if you're living in a rural area and you're kind of using your 4Runner as a truck, it really helps prevent or protect the back seats and the back cargo area and all that with the canvas backliner stuff. Andy says, what is up? John, any word on when the Tier D Pros will be hitting the dealership lots? Put in an allocation for one. Dude, I was told June, and we're almost in July. I mean, I know that it's June right now, but yeah, it needs to be soon, dude. Like, everyone is waiting for these trucks, and like, honestly, it's almost 2025 model year now. Like, as crazy as that sounds, we're in June, and it's almost 2025 model year. So hopefully soon. I mean, man, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, man. Christian, what is up? But hopefully this month we will start seeing some. I know dealerships are getting their allocations for like the Trail Hunters and the Tier D Pros and stuff, but hopefully very soon they start to pop up. Paul, I appreciate it. Christian, what is up? Everyone giving congratulations to Jared too for a Tundra, 04 Tundra. Just hit 58,000 miles. Dude, not even anywhere close to being broken in. And Christoph, my wife, is saying that she loves the Land Cruiser, she promises. So maybe that will help your wife. Mr. 705 says, hello from Ontario, Canada. I really want to pick up a 24 Tacoma off-road manual, but at $51K with 8% financing, I just think I will wait. Definitely wait. They're starting to pile up more and more on dealership lots, right? In the Tacoma failed video a couple days ago, I mentioned I drove by a GMC lot. Holy crap, dude. And we don't live in a big area, so I am kind of curious when we go to Texas again, like how many Toyotas and other vehicles, like trucks, are on the truck lots, because Texas is truck country, right? But there was probably 30 to 40 Sierras. I said Silverados in the video, but I meant Sierras at the dealership, and they were using the overflow lot across the street, and then they had a bunch of the Hummer EVs and stuff. So I mean, like, we're starting to get to, you know, pre-COVID times, which is nice. And people are freaking out like, oh my God, they're sitting on the lots, they're rotten. Like, they're still not even close, at least in my area. I don't know about other people's, but they're still not even close to where they were like pre-COVID times, because my dealership probably had like 20 Tacomas on the lot, and then they had a bunch on the overflow lots, and they were discounted, right? Supply and demand. So if you want to wait, I'm not sure how Canada really does it, but if you want to wait it out, you know, you can wait it out. Even right now, I mean, at 51K, I'm not sure if that's Canadian or not. That's probably Canadian. That seems pretty up there. But you can get discounts on Tacomas here in the United States right now. Some dealerships going upwards of $5,000, which is pretty awesome for those that are not wanting to pay a high MSRP. Now you have $5,000 off, and that's the difference of 2 months. Like, when I bought my Tacoma, I got it at MSRP, and that's what they were selling for, because there weren't that many out there. Now there's more out there, supply and demand. If there's more supply than there is demand, you start to bring that price down to where it starts to look attractive for people. Michael says, just picked up a 24 solar octane Tacoma though with the sway bar disconnect. Now the building starts. Heck yeah, rub it in my face, Michael. But no, congrats on that one. That's awesome. That there are not many trucks out there with the sway bar disconnect at all. Christopher says, what brand should I go for to level my 24 Tier D Sport? It's a two-wheel drive. Now, in all honesty, I've never used other people's like leveling kits, so I can only recommend Westcott, because I've only used Westcott. I don't want to recommend another brand that I haven't used. I've heard good things about like Ready Lift or Corn Fed, you know, Peak suspension. They're kind of coming out, and they're kind of new and stuff too. At least I'm starting to see them more on Instagram and whatnot. But like, if you're not really off-roading with it, a Westcott pre-collar kit, it's the way to go. I mean, there is minor on-road, minor like sacrifice I feel with their kit, you really just feel the sacrifice when you start going off-road a little bit, right? Your suspension isn't able to compress like as downward travel and like upward as it's supposed to, because the pre-collar kit kind of like shortens that a little bit, and that's not that big of a deal, right? But if you're really off-roading, then you want some actual full suspension. But if you just have a two-wheel drive truck and you're just looking for a nice level lift kit and you want to keep it somewhat an OEM ride, dude, I recommend Westcott stuff all day. It's good quality, great customer service as well. I mean, they've always been there for me, man. I would recommend them. I know that there are other options out there. Just please stay away from whatever puts like pressure on your top hat, because the moment you start pushing that suspension down, it's no bueno at all. Elder says dream car is a Toyota Stout with a lift kit to look like kind of like a Back to the Future Toyota pickup. That would be really cool. Now I know I said that I didn't really show stuff on the screen, but I do want to show something real quick. I was fishing around because my buddy, he just got a little K truck, like a small little, like those little Japanese trucks or whatever. And so I was looking then for K trucks and like some Florida importer stuff. And I came across this, and I want to know your guys' opinion, because it's like if you had FU money, right? But I just think it's so freaking cool. So I know that I said I wasn't gonna really show something, but check this out. So it's not a dream car, but it is like so cool. So this was done in Japan. It has 150,000 miles on it. It's a 96 Corolla, and it was converted in Japan. So it's super clean on the outside. Super clean. Like almost like a cement gray color. The back could be a little bit different, but it has like Toyota pickup lights and everything on it. And it's just so cool. They want 10 grand. I would do like 55. I have no clue the value, but like at the end of the day, it's a Corolla to me, right? But the interior is clean. It's a manual transmission. Look how sick the seats are. This is just so cool. But you saying that your dream truck was like a Stout or whatever, I just thought that was cool, because we want the Stout to come back to the United States, right? Or even an old school one. You know, if you can import it, you can import it. But I just thought that was just such a really cool thing that they did. And Drone Tech, bro, you gonna be at PNW? I most likely will not be at PNW. If you guys ask questions and you donate, you guys do not have to donate, but if you guys do, you shoot straight up to the top. It does look silly for sure, Ian. But I don't think that I'm gonna be at PNW. I know that it's in about 10 days or 15 days. And it's a big show, but I think I am gonna just hold off, stay at home, get a lot of stuff done around the house that has kind of gone crazy in the last couple months that I haven't been really home. But I will be going to Expo East though, so that will be a lot of fun at Expo East. It's kind of more like a camping, kind of in the middle of nowhere event, but I will be doing that, and then hopefully the SEMA show as well later this year, along with a couple other things too. All right, so I'm going to try to catch up. Drone Tech, thank you so much for the donation, dude. Every single live stream, you're always coming through. I freaking appreciate it. Any chance for an app for the 4th gen Tacoma forums? I don't know, but like if you are able to just save the web page onto your phone, I know that Apple is able to save like web pages onto your phone as a little icon. The web page for 4gtacoma.com is actually really good. I almost like the mobile version of the site better than the forum. So if you didn't know that, if you just go onto 4gtacoma.com, guys, it's the one that we're building up as well. There's other forums out there, but we're trying to be more enthusiast driven. You're not going to get ads with like freaking kitty litter and stuff. Like it's all just focused around the vehicles and stuff. But if you do it on your phone, Michael, it's actually a really good experience. Not an app, but it is a pretty good mobile version. Justin says, hey, John, need to replace the wife's FJ. I like the Land Cruiser, but she drove the Grenadier and liked it a lot. What are your thoughts? So I've heard that the Grenadier is good. It is the Supra, basically the B58 powertrain, which is just bulletproof. I haven't heard any issues about the Supra drivetrain. But there are so many buttons on the inside, and when I sat in one at the Overland Expo, oh my gosh, that just reminded me, I haven't even edited that video yet, and it's so far behind. It just felt like really plasticky, and I mean, all vehicles are really plasticky now, but just felt unique. It was very, very unique. It's super cool. I guess it just depends on what you're using it for. If you're really building it out to be like an overland rig, I mean, it is built to be an overland rig. I mean, it has like side rails on the freaking doors to do stuff, and it looks unique too. There ain't nothing like it on the roads. I'm gonna be very curious what its like resale value and stuff is, because it's kind of like a new company, I think, too. But I like it. I don't know if I personally would buy one, but I do like it. If you want real world experiences, I think TFL bought one. I don't know if it's the truck or if it's the SUV. But I believe TFL has a Grenadier. Scott, what is up, man? How's it going? Luis, what is up? Says, I'm loving my first edition Land Cruiser. I got a Westcott. I go to Westcott next month to get it all fitted out. Dude, that's going to be sick. His builds that he's been doing with the Land Cruisers, I don't know if you saw his recent one, but he did a 1958. It was all white, and he built it up. Dude, it's just on it. Will we get a comparison video of the 250 and a 200 series? We will. I have a friend, unless he sells it by the time I get back home. I hope not, but I hope he does, because he wants to sell it. But he has a 200 series Heritage Edition. He also has a GX 550, which is the reason why he wants to sell the Land Cruiser 200. So that's crazy, right? Because the Land Cruiser 200, it's a classic. It's supposed to be luxury, but he's got that 550, and he's like, I'm done with the 200. I like the 550. So we'll have a good comparison soon of his Overtrail GX 550 compared to my Land Cruiser. And then if he still has the 200 series, then we will have that in the video as well, or maybe its own video too. Daniel says, John, have you heard anything about the 24 Tundra and the version 350 already slated to be replaced in Tacoma? Apparently they don't meet the new emission requirements. A new 2.0 rumored to replace the 2.4. That would make, I don't know, I haven't heard any rumors about that. That doesn't make sense why you would just go 0.4 liters down. But I don't know, anything's crazy. But I feel like this engine for the Tacoma is in it for the long haul, if you're talking about the Tacoma, Daniel. But I haven't heard anything about that. I know maybe for their cars, they're all going to go down to a 2.0. But I haven't heard anything on the truck section. This is a good question, because I feel like I would want to do the same. I would hire a detailer, man. I would hire a detailer, because maybe, you know, they would use some steam to break it up and a good vacuum to vacuum it out. I honestly have no idea, but I would honestly take it to a good detailer if they can. And I'm sure it's dusty. I mean, I've had the back windows and stuff down on our 4Runner. You could see like kind of like little black dots and stuff every once in a while in the headliner. Sometimes I like wipe it with like a wet towel, but aside from that, I would honestly just take it to a detailer and have someone professionally do it. That way you don't make it worse, because I don't know. Still waiting on the GX 550. Yeah, I think that those also are very slow to roll out right now, unfortunately. Did you notice when you remote start your Land Cruiser that it doesn't turn off? So yes, so with Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0, with all new vehicles, and for those, because I made kind of like a viral short form video, it really went off. And people are like, well, it's a safety feature. It's like, no, it's not a safety feature, because my 2014 Silverado, in 2014, I would be able to remote start it, open the door, put the key in, turn it, and then the truck was ready to go. And if you tried to drive it without putting the key in it, like if someone broke into the truck and it was running and they tried to put it in gear and put their foot on the gas or the brake to shift the column and put it into gear, the truck would die. So that is now what these new Toyotas do with the Safety Sense 3.0. My Tacoma, the exact same way. So that's really nice. When you remote start it, it's going, you open the door, it stays running. The only thing Toyota now needs to work on is a dedicated button on the freaking remote. They need a dedicated button on the remote. And I'm curious if they don't do this because maybe they want you to subscribe to their freaking thing and charge you money. So maybe it's easier for people to do it on their phone. I have no idea, because the range on the remotes of Toyotas is atrocious. It's horrible. And then you have to 1, 2, I think hold it on 3, and you can't hear it if like you're inside your house. Like, I don't know. I just wish there was a designated button to just remote start the vehicles. But we are making progress, because it does not shut off when you open up the doors. And then Scott also says, when are you coming to Phoenix again? We need to get together. That is crazy, because we actually just got, and I'm sorry if you're not in here still, Scott, we're actually a little far behind, 17 minutes actually, guys, so I apologize. Oh my gosh, yeah, we are pretty far behind. So our tenants actually just said that they are going to be moving out of their house, of our house. So me and the wife, we're going to talk about that as we are driving and see what we're going to do. But we will see. So it should hopefully potentially be like July timeframe, July, August. Perfect time to freaking move stuff around, right? In freaking Phoenix. It always seems to happen. Matt says, I have a Tacoma. It's too small for my family. Should I get a 5th gen 4Runner or wait for the 6th gen? Worried about potential issues with the first ones. So the thing that sucks, aside from downtime, like a new vehicle is under warranty, which is pretty nice. But the Tacoma is small in the back seat. But the 5th gen 4Runner, it's not like insanely bigger in the back, and even the 6th gen, it's not insanely bigger, but you are able to at least recline the seats back, and there is somewhat more room. If it was me, it's hard, because the 5th gen, it's been around forever. It's bulletproof, it's reliable, it's awesome. But the 6th gen just drives better, I feel. I mean, I haven't driven it, but the powertrain is literally in the Land Cruiser, and it just feels a bit better, a bit more peppy and stuff. But if you are just worried about the new tech, I mean, it's under warranty, but again, if something unfortunately happens, like the grill shutters that just happened in my Tacoma, I could have asked the dealership for a loaner vehicle. I don't need it. I have multiple. But if you need a loaner and the dealership doesn't have it, and for some reason something happens with your vehicle, you could be down a vehicle. So there is that in the back of the head, but at the end of the day, like, it's under warranty. It's built in Japan. Hopefully it's going to be good. We just have to see. Guitar Dude says that I'm looking into purchasing a new Tacoma, but I've been worried about what seems to be an increase in issues that are being reported. Do you think that the new 24 Tacoma will be worth it and reliable? So the 24s to 25s, they will have their issues, their little gremlins and stuff for sure. I will say this, and knock on wood, that the 24 Tacoma is off to a significantly better start, I feel, than the Tundra was. So, and the Tundra, people were still buying them, and there were a good amount of people that weren't having issues. So I feel like a lot of things are amplified on the internet, right? If a lot of people see a person having a issue, it seems like it's more than one issue, if that makes sense. So, not saying that the truck is perfect, because it's far from perfect, right? Everything's far from perfect. But I feel like you'd be okay with a 24 or a 25 when it starts to come out in a couple months. And again, like the 4Runner question, at the end of the day, it'll be under warranty, right? And hopefully with all these issues, the recalls, all this stuff, when I have issues and I make, a video about the grill shutter stuff, and then that gets up channeled to Toyota because my truck, it had to get a part ordered, other people's trucks, they're like, hey, how do we fix these for the next truck so we don't have to keep shelling out money for freaking grill shutters and stuff? So I feel like as we get towards the tail end of a model, right, like the second 2.5 Gen Tundra, everyone's like, it's bulletproof, it's amazing, it's awesome. But they forget like over 200,000 5.7 liter V8s were recalled. I think it was for like a crankshaft or crank sensor or something like that. I forget what it was. But there were like 200,000 trucks recalled, right? And now we're at 100,000 trucks for the 3rd gen early on. So that's not that good. But still, like, people forget, I feel, that like a bunch of recalls happened on the 2nd gen. But at the end of it, it was super reliable, and all those other trucks, got fixed. So I don't know, like, it does seem that like Toyota and all these brands are kind of using like COVID as an excuse over time to be like, oh, we're catching up and all this BS. It's like, dude, just make a good car. Make a good car. Stop with the excuses. And at least, with these recalls, they're admitting that there's a problem, and hopefully it gets better, man. Hopefully it gets better, because I'd see it in the comments. There's a lot of people jumping ship, and we'll see if they come swimming back to the boat, right? We'll see. Or if we all jump ship. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell, you know? Alma says, hey, John, on the wait list for a 25 4Runner Tier D Pro. Thanks for all the content. Helped convince me on my next vehicle. I'm sorry that I made you spend so much money on the next vehicle, but I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for the comment. And we are going to skip just a couple. And for everyone that is hopping in, because I did see a couple comments about that, for everyone that is hopping in a little bit later, the Tacoma, it is a grill shutter. So apparently the dealership is waiting for a full grill shutter mechanism. That's what I was told in the text message back, which is cool that I can just text the advisor instead of calling and doing all this crap, or him calling me and me missing a call. They are ordering a whole grill shutter. It was supposed to be here today, but they said 2 days. I would assume that that is business. They ordered it on a Friday, so it probably won't even be here until like a Wednesday. And then the truck may not even be ready till like Thursday, honestly. If I pick it up like Friday or something. So it stinks because like I hate leaving everyone waiting to see like what the heck the issue was, and maybe I'll just make a quick community post or something like that about it. But yes, we are waiting for a full grill shutter on the Tacoma, and hopefully after that we have, again, knock on wood, no more issues with the Tacoma. It's just crazy. Ryan just literally clicked start, and I had just driven it from here to Yoda Mafia with no problem. It sat in the freaking parking lot there. He got in it to bring it inside. He's like, there's some stuff going on the screen. I'm like, dude, what the heck? I should have just freaking, it's crazy. Paul says, hi there. Do you get your vehicle ceramic coated? It seems pretty expensive in my area, about $1,500 for my Tacoma. I don't have a garage. This is something I can't do myself. So yeah, the only vehicle I have ceramic coated is the Tacoma. It was close to that price. It was a friend that did it, and I did some stuff for YouTube, but it's around that price. So it's not just ceramic coat. They may be doing a single stage or a full paint correction on your truck to make it look perfect. I would recommend doing that, just because if you're putting a protectant on the truck, you may want to have that paint looking good. But yeah, it's about that expensive, you know. In hindsight, like, I just wanted to see how ceramic coat was. I may do it on the Land Cruiser as well, but I should have wrapped the Tacoma with a PPF film, is what I should have done, I think, for it. Just after off-roading it and seeing how stuff was, this is my first time doing ceramic coat. I think for a dedicated off-road vehicle, but PPF is probably 2-3 times the price for a good installer and stuff, and a thick film. Just depends like on what you want to do with your vehicle and whatnot. But Craig says, any word on the new arrival of the Mini, Land Cruiser, or new FJ? Any new Toyota products coming out this year, you think? I don't think that there's any other ones coming out. I know that we have the 4Runner Drive event, but at least as of right now, unless there's a surprise coming, there's nothing else really on my like save the dates. Like, hey, save this date, John. Make sure you're not really doing anything because we have something going on. Unless there's a surprise coming, I don't think, I feel like this year is pretty quiet. Toyota ramped everything up, gave us the 4Runner, and then aside from that, I feel like this year has been pretty quiet. So hopefully next year, dude, hopefully next year we get like the new RAV4, right? The Tundra refresh is what rumors are saying, like for a 26 model. New RAV4, like I said. Maybe the Stout, if that's actually coming in conjunction with a Mini FJ. Maybe they're on the same platform. No idea. That would be way rad if they did both of those, but we'll see. As of right now, I think it's just more 4Runner info, and that's really it. Brian says, man, I hope I can get a very low mileage 3rd gen Tacoma after I finish college in 2 years. There will definitely be some out there. Even like 3-4 years down the line, I'm sure that there will still be some garage kept kind of, you know, 3rd gens or whatever. They'll be like barn finds, you know. They'll be out there. There's still super low mileage 2014 FJs and stuff out there. So, or even earlier models than that. Enrique says, John, when you installed the Westcott leveling kit on your Tundra, did you have issues with front bumper clips breaking due to the ride quality being a little rough? No, not at all. I would highly recommend getting a proper alignment and asking Westcott Designs to give you somewhat of the alignment like specs that they want your truck to be. But no, the ride was not that rough to shake bumper clips off. There's definitely something going on. Depends also what type of tires you put on the truck, what PSI the tires are too. There's a ton of factors that go into something after lifting a vehicle, because you're going from, you know, a stock ride height with, you know, street rated tires on a truck to a lot of people putting on like loaded rated tires on these trucks, which is way too much for a half ton. And I'm guilty of it. I put it on my last truck. So like the ride itself will be a bit rougher, but to answer your question, Enrique, I did not have bumper clips like rattling off the truck. There definitely seems like there's something else potentially going on there. Mike, what's up, man, says, hey, John, have you posted on how you like the 1794 compared to your Platinum? Any update who's going to build the Stout? Yeah, it's still no info on the Stout yet, but that video is in the hopper to do for you guys. I was given a 1794 edition as a press vehicle, and I liked it. I really liked it, but it was the cream interior, and if I was to go with a 1794, I think I would go with more the saddle brown interior versus the cream. And the chrome, for me, it just don't do it on the outside. I like the darker, more color matched and dark chrome of the Platinum versus the 1794. The 1794 is cool. It's a good truck for a lot of people. I think my style is just more of the Platinum. Mike says, will you get a new 4Runner? I most likely will if you guys want to see it. Again, a lot of people do like the Land Cruiser, so we'll see once I drive the 4Runner if you guys like it, if I should get it. If I do get a 4Runner, I am leaning towards a hybrid, so that may not be one of the first to get a 4Runner. It may be closer to like December, January time frame, but I am thinking about doing a hybrid as a TRD off-road is what I'm thinking. TRD Pro, I don't know if it'll be worth it, like in my opinion. And a TRD off-road with a hybrid in that Everest color, that is where I am thinking about going. Drone Tech, sorry, another question. Does Westcott Designs do only Toyotas? I got my Ranger Raptor, and I love your Tacoma's roof rack. Dude, if you are, I can't remember, Drone Tech, if you are in Arizona, take that Ranger Raptor to them. They would have a field day with it. I'm sure that they would make a rack or something. You may be like a one-off or something like that for it, but I feel that the Ranger will somewhat want an aftermarket scene as well, and not many people do that stuff. So if you take it to them, they may just, if they see the value for sure in it for future Ranger builds and all that stuff, they may just in fact do a roof rack. I don't know if they have any like already, but Westcott Designs does not do just Toyotas. They do GMC product stuff, Toyota stuff obviously, and I believe some Ford stuff as well. It's definitely heavy on the Toyota aftermarket scene, but definitely take it over there. If you're in the area and you take it to them, say, hey, TRD John sent me here with a freaking Ford Ranger, they may do some stuff. So yeah, I'd be interested. Let us know for sure. Christian says, I'm going to try my best for Expo East this year. Would be awesome to meet one of my favorite YouTubers and Yoda enthusiasts. Dude, that'd be so rad, so rad. I think my truck is going to be in Ironman Off-Road's booth. More on that later. But yeah, so I most likely will be heading up that way for that. Daniel says, sorry, I was talking about the two. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Emission requirements may also change by 2027 too, just depending on future government stuff. We will see, huh? Colby says, with the grill shutter issue that you're experiencing, do you know if the shutter system is essential to the operation of the truck? Everything I read online says it's only in use for aero. So yeah, I don't think so, because the engine, it gets air from up above on the hood. It goes up in there, straight into the engine. So I don't think so, because like when I was having the malfunctions, the truck was just driving at like 70 miles an hour. No problem. No problem at all. So I don't think that it's really needed. Maybe just I should just pop the fuse out, right? But like I don't want the warning lights just constantly coming and coming and coming on my truck like all the time. So, and it's under warranty, have them fix it, but maybe, you know, later down the line, if this issue unfortunately happens with someone who has a truck not in warranty, and if it's, you know, kind of expensive, then maybe just kind of omit the whole grill shutter thing itself. But yeah, I feel like it's just to kind of mitigate all the air and like the force at the front of the truck for sure. Also, what are your thoughts on 33-inch tires versus 34s or 35s? I keep getting told that 35s are a whole different game on most or all four-wheel drives. I just put 35s on my 4th gen, and there's not a lot out there. So I like the 33 and a halves that I put on the Tacoma. They're close to a 34. 35s on that truck, I mean, unless it's a lightweight tire, like that's just so heavy. I weighed my tires for my Tacoma. They're at 90 pounds for a C-load rated 34-inch tire, which is just bonkers. It's just absolutely crazy how heavy that tire is. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. And the truck drives it fine, but the bigger you go up, just the more strain you're putting on the truck. All right, going to skip a couple more questions and stuff here, guys, just to catch up a little more. I mean, we're 11 minutes behind, but I just want to skip a couple. So I apologize, and if we get caught up in the next 5 minutes, then you guys can ask the question again. But this one's kind of non-Toyota related. Is homeowners insurance in Florida as bad as everyone says? My brother and I are thinking about moving to Florida. So it depends on where in Florida, but yes, it has gone up quite a bit. It depends also on the caliber of house that you buy, right? Like how big is the house? Is it close to water? Do you need flood insurance? All that stuff. So it has definitely gone up. It has definitely gone up. There are some talks trying to lower that, right? Not like a state type insurance, but we do get like insurance breaks and stuff, you know, every once in a while throughout the year. We get tax breaks and stuff throughout the year. Like we have tax breaks going on right now because of hurricane season. So you can go to like the hardware store, buy a generator with no state tax, and just storm prepared items and stuff. Sometimes like for school, we have no tax on school items and whatnot. Sometimes there's gas tax holidays where gas will just like drop like 20-30 cents and stuff. So I mean, like, it's a give and take. Like there's homeowners insurance is a little bit expensive, but like you don't have to pay state income tax here. But on the flip side, property taxes are a little bit expensive. So I mean, like, it's just, it all evens itself out. I enjoy it, so I hope you're still in here, Daniel, to hear that question answered. Slick says, are you concerned about the new engine, that it might face some issues, given that the first year models of the Land Cruiser often encounter problems over time, debating if I should pull the trigger or not on an outgoing 4Runner. Dude, the outgoing 4Runner, it's going to last forever. It's going to last absolutely forever. And then my wife, I guess, answered some of your questions for the insurance stuff, because that was 12 minutes ago. So thanks, Realtor. If you guys are looking for a house, hit up Bree. But I'm not too concerned, and it's not because, oh, John only keeps his vehicles for a year. That's not it. It's under warranty, right? And like, it sucks, like, if something happens, but like, it's inevitable. Like, they try to test these trucks, right? But then, like, once they go into production, there's third-party companies where they're buying certain parts from. They're building engines in one plant, shipping it all the way over here, having a bunch of stuff go down the assembly line. And now these trucks are in the masses too, right? So now you have, instead of engineers with like 20, 30, potentially 100 trucks, I'm not sure how many trucks they actually have. That'd be a great question to ask Sheldon. But like, there's only so many out there. And now I feel like, I think the last report was there's close to like 30,000 4th gen Tacomas out there. So now you have 30,000 plus eyes on a vehicle and 30,000 plus vehicles with potential issues that may arise. So like, it definitely amplifies it a little bit, the more and more vehicles that get out there, for sure. But me personally, I'm not like too concerned. One, it's YouTube as a job. It's not really a job, it's a hobby. The payment stuff of it's just a byproduct, which is nice. But like, if something happens like it did on the Tacoma, that's content, right, for me. But like for someone that may just want a bulletproof vehicle, dude, get the old 4Runner. But again, it's old, and Toyota is still asking a premium for like 2024 vehicles, which is crazy because it's 15 years old almost, right? That body style and everything. But if you just really want simplicity, then 100% just go the route of the 4Runner and maybe re-attack the thought of a Land Cruiser in 3-4 years. Maybe it'll be absolutely bulletproof and people are like, yo, this product's great. And then the Land Cruiser will be like the next 4Runner. But me personally, I don't sweat it. Again, it's content, but yeah. Studio says, yo, now that you've driven the Land Cruiser for a little bit, would you do anything different if you had a chance to buy it again? So if I had the chance to buy it again with like 4 or 5 different ones on the lot, I'd probably buy just a normal Land Cruiser, just a normal Land Cruiser grade with no options, right? At like 60 grand, where it's supposed to be at. That is exactly what I get. Maybe not even the premium package at all. So like I would just do that. Aside from that, like I enjoy it. It's nice to have all the amenities. It's definitely the nicest car that we've owned. It's really nice. And then Ryan's in here. I am a little bit behind on the questions, but you're all good, Ryan. Simple fix for the Tacoma, I hope. Just waiting on some stuff. So, but yeah, I wouldn't. The only thing I would change again, I would buy it again. It's been good on the channel so far. You guys seem to enjoy it. It's nice to drive, but I think I would just get a normal Land Cruiser grade. And if I was gonna build it up like the Tacoma, I'd get a 1958 for sure. Just like the cheapest possible, and then build it up. Jay says, hey John, what dash camera would you recommend? I don't really have one. I probably should, and I say this all the time, but I don't know. Maybe someone could help Jay in the comment section if you guys have dash cam recommendations. And then Craig, thank you for the $2 donation going all the way up to the top of the comments here. So I'm not sure if this is official or if he has transitioned over there, but I have heard some rumblings at like some of the events and stuff that he has gotten promoted. So I'm not sure if any of that is like super official, like that Toyota has talked about that yet, but he will be overseeing a lot of vehicles. So the Tundra may or may not be part of that. I don't want to answer for Toyota because I've just kind of heard some rumblings and stuff at events and whatnot. But yes, he will be overseeing a lot of the body-on-frame vehicles. Tundra is one of them. But again, I don't know what's official, when that starts, what his exact role will be with all of that stuff. But thank you for the $2 donation and what you heard or read. Maybe you read it somewhere then. Maybe it is official. I'm not sure. But I don't know all the details about that yet. All right, let's go back to Vic. Best seat so far on a long road trip: Tacoma, Tundra, 4Runner, Land Cruiser. I know that wasn't part of the question, but of those three, Vic, I would go weirdly with the Tacoma. I thought that the Tundra seats were actually pretty good until I spent the last 2 months in the Tacoma. And my gosh, the Tundra, it's comfortable seats, but it is not as good as the Tacoma. And then with the Land Cruiser, when I got that and was driving down from Virginia, I was like, holy crap, I sat in this vehicle for like 9 hours. It was not that bad at all. Luke, what is up, man? How's it going? Welcome to the chat. And again, for everyone kind of tuning in a little bit late, we'll just touch on the Tacoma for the third time real quick. We are waiting on a grill shutter actuator, or like the whole entire thing. I will have that all in the actual printout of what they fixed on the Tacoma when we get it back, hopefully later this week. Worst case scenario, we will get all that Tacoma content, unfortunately, next week, which does kind of suck because I have a pile of parts over there from Yodaverse for the Tacoma as well. And the Yodaverse sponsorships, we are potentially towards the end of them. Not sure if they want to continue it, but I will still always have my discount code with Yodaverse, though, for you guys. But I do have some stuff from them for the Tacoma. John says, I finally found a Trail Hunter in Texas at a dealership for sale. Holy crap, guys, they exist. So whoever was asking this earlier, I forgot the name, I apologize. They're out, apparently, in Texas. Of course, Texas freaking gets them first, but there you go. And what's the deal with the QC delays for the Land Cruiser? I've asked. I did not know that they were officially in place, but it seems like people are now waiting 4 to 6 weeks for their Land Cruiser. Mind-boggling. But I have asked, and apparently they don't know. I'm not sure if that's just, hey, John, we don't want to tell you, so you don't tell your people. But I've asked some people, and they said that they are unsure of exactly what the QC hold is for the Land Cruiser. So there's like a lot of moving parts with Toyota. You have like your PR people, you have your product specialist people, you have your marketing people, you have your engineers. So like it's kind of like, for as well oiled of a machine it is, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of departments that don't really talk to each other. So I am not 100% sure what the QC hold is, and I have asked, but I haven't gotten an answer. New Westcott post of the white Land Cruiser with 35 by 12.5 on 17s. Looks so good. Dude, it looks so sick. Even like it being a 58 with like the black, what's it called? Plastic front bumper. It flows perfectly with the roof rack and the bumper, the black methods. It looks pretty sick. John, what would you go for if you had 2 kids? A Tundra or a Sequoia? Man, that's hard. For me, I would probably pick the Tundra just because a bed is like super functional on a truck. But that generation of Sequoia is massive on the inside. Oh man, that's hard. If you don't need a truck, I'd 100% go with the Sequoia. That generation of Sequoia is like pretty good on the inside. I like the interior of the Tundra a little bit more. I feel like the dash looks a lot better than the Sequoia. But that Sequoia was good. That Sequoia was very good. I remember being in that generation of Sequoia in Alaska, in Fairbanks, Alaska, when I was in the military. We had one as our rental vehicle. And, dude, it had 7, 8 of us Air Force dudes in it. 2 in the front, 3 in the middle, 3 in the back. And I actually had a good amount of space in that Sequoia. And, you know, that was me as an adult, you know, a bit fatter than what I am right now, too. So that's saying something. But yeah, we had 8 full-size adults in that Sequoia, and there was way more room, I felt like, in the back seats of that one, like the back seats, than the 3rd-gen Sequoia for sure. So if you don't need a truck at all, I'd probably pick up Lunar Rock, 2nd-gen Sequoia, man. Jay says, just came back inside from taking some stuff, or taking off the grill surround and started to swap over the Heritage grill onto a 24 Tundra. Dude, I know why you probably needed to come inside to take a break. My fingers hurt so bad trying to take off the grill, and I made a joke too, and it's kind of like, not like, whatever. They over-engineered the crap out of that grill. There are so many freaking screws and tabs and all this stuff on that grill. It's wild. But you're going to color match in midnight black. That would be awesome. That would be really awesome. Luke says, I'm thinking about trading in my 5th-gen 4Runner on a Lexus 570. That'd be cool. Gas mileage is going to be a bit worse for sure. Even though the 4Runner doesn't get the best, man, the 570 just drinks down gas. But definitely more room on the inside for sure. Studio says, yo, now that you've had the Land Cruiser for a little... Oh, I already answered that one. So thank you for asking that again, Studio. And just in case you stepped away, because I know that the questions are a little bit delayed, about 10 minutes or so, I would just get a normal Land Cruiser grade, the one that's around $60,000 to $61,000 with no dealer options or anything like that. It's crazy because like some of the 58s out there, even those are touching like 60 grand with like dealer add-ons and all of that stuff, and it's just unfortunate because like it's supposed to be a treat vehicle, but then they're adding dealer port options and everything, and a 58 is like touching 60, you know. So even like a normal Land Cruiser with the premium package and dealer stuff, it's almost the same price as like my first edition that I bought. But it will tame down the more and more that get out there and stuff. So no worries, Corey, for answering the question. Keith says that I have a black first edition. I'm thinking about adding classic Toyota stripes to it. That would look so sick. That would look so cool. I wanted to do something like that with ours. I don't think I will. I may. I don't know. But there was a rendering. I forget who built it up online. It was on Instagram that I saw, and the heritage stripes just kind of went down the rear window and then dipped down the door and was following like under the windows and stuff. It looked so good, and it was on a heritage blue as well. So I can only imagine how good black on black like would look with just the heritage stripes going down. I feel like it would look like the 4Runner 40th anniversary edition in black. That one looks so good. That is my favorite. Like, even though it's an SR5 premium, that was like one of my favorite 4Runners, just with those heritage stripes. It looks so cool, and the bronze accents and stuff. Moonroof issue is the issue for the Land Cruiser quality control. So that may be very true then, Alan, because I heard that the GXs were also having an issue with the moonroofs, and it's the same car, like the same body and shell and everything. So that would make sense if it is that. And then you also said, when do you think that we'll see 25 Land Cruiser updates announced, getting long into 24 now? Probably like August, September timeframe, I would say, for like whatever new 25 stuff would be, because they're going to drop the first edition, right? They don't need that for the next year. So I'm curious if they're just going to do 58 and normal Land Cruiser, or if they're going to give us something extra to fill that void, basically. Is premium gas really required for new Land Cruisers? So it's not required. It's still weird. I've been putting it in mine, but I am going to run a tank with it without, to see if I notice any noticeable difference. But I've been told by several people, like, it's mainly just for peak performance. I don't care. It's an SUV. So we'll see if like the MPGs just drop putting normal gas in it. But like, unless, you know, you're really needing performance and stuff out of it, there's probably no point to really put it. It's just strange that they put it on the gas cap. But like, if you read the owner's manual, it doesn't say required. It just says for optimal like performance, basically. Debating on a new Land Cruiser or a 24 4Runner. That's hard. I will be doing my comparison video when I get back in town on the 4Runner versus Land Cruiser, with some tape measurements, me actually sitting in the middle seat with my driving position, what I like about the old school stuff versus what's nice to have with the newer school stuff, the headspace and everything, how they drive. But the Land Cruiser is definitely a little bit of leaps ahead of the 4Runner. You could tell every time I get in the 4Runner, it's a freaking tank. It is an absolute tank, but it is old. But that's what people like sometimes about the 4Runner, for sure. Matt says, an AFE intake and MagnaFlow overland exhaust on a 23 4Runner off-road. I'm consistently getting over 18 or 19 miles per gallon and up to 21 easy. That is nice. I definitely don't get that anymore on our 4Runner. I'm pretty sure I could if we were like doing freeway mileage with it, but right now around town with the TRD intake and the TRD exhaust, I think our 4Runner is like around 17. I do have it lifted a little bit and that heavier front bumper on it as well, though. Nervous about the new powertrain thoughts. It's under warranty. It drives a heck of a lot better than our old 4Runner does. I mean, I know that the 4Runner will last forever, but yeah, the new those new powertrains, they handle so well. They drive so good. Even though it's a little 4-cylinder, with it being a hybrid, that torque just comes on super fast. It's good to drive, man. It's really good to drive. Casey says, I just randomly want to say I have a 2011 Silverado with almost 200,000 miles on it and thinking about getting a new Tacoma. I love the trucks on and your content. It's been helpful in making my mind up on what I want next. Heck yeah, man. I appreciate that. Definitely sitting in the Tacoma with like whatever gear you have or whatever, but it's gonna be a change, really, going from a full-size truck like that to a mid-size truck. Now, I'm not sure if you have like a full 4-door Silverado or if it's like the extended cab, right? But there is definitely a lot less interior space on a Tacoma than there is a Silverado. I had a 2014 Silverado. It was pretty good for like the 25,000 miles or whatever I put on it. Didn't really have too many issues. And who the frick is this clown? Elantra. Guys, buy Hyundai. It's better. I think you're on the wrong channel there, bro. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it just depends. You know, the Tacoma is really really cool. It drives really good for having a 4-cylinder. But just keep in mind, you're definitely going from a full size truck with a V8 most likely for that Silverado down to a smaller truck. But 200,000 miles on it on a Chevy. That's pretty good with that 5.3 Vortec, right? I think they changed it to the EcoTech for that 2014 model year. And if you didn't have really any issues, like this is just an example, right? People say Chevy's trash and whatnot. I grew up with Chevys and Fords and some Toyotas and stuff too. And all the ones we had, you know, you take care of them and, you know, knock on wood, they last for a little bit. Some maintenance stuff here and there and whatnot, you know, but, you know, we had Suburban growing up and Ford F-150s and all that stuff. Making Monroe says, do you still have the Tundra? Are you worried about spinning a bearing? I wish Toyota would have just made a more efficient V8. Yeah, I still do have the Tundra. I'm currently not worried about it. I mean, we're about to do a road trip with the truck, and if it craps out on me on the middle of the road, that's going to suck. My truck was built after the recall. It was still built in February, so I'm not worried. If it happens, it happens, which will really suck. And I'm like dreading the road trip now, but I have faith that it will be okay. But yeah, it would have been cool if they were able to still make a V8 that got like a little bit better gas mileage, because like the general like Tundra itself gets better gas mileage, but like when you start towing with it, when you put bigger tires on it and stuff, like, and those turbos are like starting to spool a bit, it just is not the best like for gas mileage. And thank God it has a bigger tank too. But you said fellow car review channel here, just trying to get to be like you, also a John too. Well, there you go. So guys, I will have to check out your channel, Making Monroe. But if you guys want more new, fresh car YouTubers, head on over to John's channel as well. So I will definitely check out your channel, man. But yeah, still have the Tundra. It would be nice if, you know, they weren't having issues, but unfortunately they are. But we'll see. We will see. Casey says that I sat and drove the new Tacoma and I loved it. My Silverado is an extended cab. Okay, then it'll be about the same size. The back seats maybe just a tad bit more, and it should be all good, dude. Cowboy says a naturally aspirated V6 with the hybrid components would kick ass. Heck yeah. I mean, it is crazy that they went with turbos, you know, instead of just like adding a hybrid component to like the older engines. And I get that there's emission standards and stuff, but like the fact that, you know, Lexus in their cars, they still have like the 5.0 V8, and who knows for how much longer. Like that would have been cool to have that in the Tundra platform, you know, because they brought over the 3.4 turbo from a Lexus car, kind of equipped it for a truck standard, bigger, different turbos and stuff, different internals, different timing chain and all that stuff, more of a truck platform. It would have been dope if, yeah, hey, let's do a 5.0 V8 option as well and go through the same effort and all that stuff and hybridize the V8 and whatnot. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not in those business meetings, but it'd be cool to have those options, right? Especially when other brands were offering options as well. But now you kind of see other brands, especially after COVID and stuff, kind of going the more Toyota approach, like less powertrain options, potentially less problems and stuff too. I don't know. It just depends. But we will go on just for a couple more questions, guys. I do have to get some packing in. But Ethan says, have you experienced all of the annoying warning lights and beep when off-roading? So not really, because I turn off some of the sensors and stuff while off-roading. So the biggest and most annoying one is going to be like the parking sensors and stuff. Those are pretty annoying, especially when you start to get close to some things. But you should just be able to turn those off on the dashboard, or sometimes you have to go further in the settings on the gauges as well. I'm not sure which vehicle you're talking about, Ethan, but like on the Tacoma, there's a lot of stuff inside the gauges. You go to settings, press and hold OK, and then it'll bring up all that crap to just turn all off. Sam says, hey John, what's going on? I'm thinking about buying a Westcott roof rack for my 19 TRD Pro in Voodoo Blue. Nice freaking color. What are your thoughts on the Westcott rack? I enjoy ours. I think it's because of the ladder. I just hear a little bit of wind noise like on the back, but ours is low profile. I'm not sure if he's redone it a little bit since. Mine's like 3 years old, I think, on my 4Runner. But it's great. No wind noise, if at all. Super easy to install. Excuse me. And it looks really good too. Macon Monroe also says, I hear you. Best of luck. I had a 23 Tundra with the iForce Max for a bit, and it was fun. Definitely a good driving truck. So that is one thing when I had the 1794 that I noticed. It packs a punch. It really packs a punch for sure. And I feel like Toyota has kind of fixed their shifting for that 2024. It's not as like jarring as some of the previous iForce Maxes were that I drove like early on. Even when you come to a stop, there's not much of that like lurching and like that locking and stuff. It drives good. Even like their Land Cruiser with its iForce Max, it drives good as well. Also, what is the resolution for the warning messages on your Tacoma? So I will touch on that one more time for everyone that is joining in, because we are about to wrap up the live stream, but it is the grill shutter. So I was told that either it's the whole mechanism or just like what actually is the actuator for the grill shutters. But all of that is on order, and it's should be here in 2 days, but it's most likely business days. So hopefully we will get the Tacoma back either later this week or into next week as well for that. But they have ordered a whole grill shutter. I don't know what that all entails, but it sounds like the whole bumper is going to have to come off again on the truck. They're going to fix it, hopefully not scratch up my truck, and put it all back together. Oh crap. Are they even able to take off the bumper with that freaking lower bumper on? Oh, dude. Anyways, they should be able to. I am on the edge of buying a 24 TRD Pro instead of a 25 4Runner TRD Pro just because of early vehicles will have some problems. Am I making the right choice? I think you are, dude. Even if you want to move on to the 6th gen later, the fact that you are trying to get a TRD Pro, it'll hold its value. TRD Pros tend to hold their value a lot more than other models. It will depreciate a little bit, but a TRD Pro is a safe bet if you're trying to buy the last of the previous generation. Potentially will trade it in the future for the new vehicle. TRD Pros definitely hold their value. So I don't think that you'd be making a bad decision at all for that one. What's up, Onyx? How's it going, man? Justin says, loving my 24 Tacoma so far, coming from a F350 or a 2023 F150 Tremor. Really? Because I was inside a Tremor, and that's actually a pretty nice truck. Like, I like the looks that Ford did with the Tremor and everything. The interior, it's a Ford interior, but it was pretty nice. A lot of buttons all over the place. Holy crap. But there's a lot of room inside an F-150. Like there's more room in an F-150 than there is in my Tundra. Like, it's actually a pretty nice cab. But that's crazy to go back down like to a midsize truck in the 24 Tacoma. But I'm super glad that you are liking it. Is the 250 series more capable than the 300 series stock versus stock? I don't think so. There's this graphic out there showing like approach angles and departure angles and all that stuff for those two Land Cruisers. They're pretty dang close, honestly. I would say maybe the 250 series would be a tad more capable, just because it's a little bit more nimble off road. I don't think it's as wide as a 300 series, so maybe since it's a little narrower, they have the same exact wheelbase. I would say maybe the 250 series would be just a tad more capable, just because it's a little bit more nimble, I would say, off-road. Marcus says, great channel, but needs more off-road content instead of only being buying and building. Maybe putting those machines to use would be awesome. So I did post maybe 3 or 4 off-road videos while out on the West Coast. So if you missed those, You could definitely catch up on those, man. I did fail, I will admit this, to document Moab, Utah. Dude, it was so beautiful up there, I didn't even want to record. So that's on me because it was just such stunning, an environment out there. I just didn't record. But I did have some stuff in Borrego Springs, off-roading out there, Johnson Valley, and I believe maybe it was only 3 off-roading videos, or shoot, maybe only 2. Maybe I lied, Marcus. But there ain't no off-roading here in Florida, so I apologize with that, man. So when I'm in Florida, I try to just give as much Toyota content as possible. We do have some trails up here that I do want to hit with the Tacoma with the Yoda Mafia guys. Breland said that there's a more fast trail that he found because he has a long travel 4Runner to where we can actually jump the truck and stuff. So I will be doing that, but we unfortunately just don't have crazy off-roading out here in Florida. So if I do make my way back out west, it'll be my my job, I don't know what word I'm trying to think of, but there'll be a lot more off-roading videos. They're just hard to put together, and I enjoy off-roading so much that honestly, like, recording a lot kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit. But I do understand it would be nice to actually see off-roading content. Like, why build the truck up if I'm not going to show off-roading content, right? Keith says, I will tell you how my Land Cruiser does in the Maine snow. I don't think you will see any where you're at. No, I definitely will not. So I'm interested to see how people's Land Cruisers react to the snow. They're full-time 4-wheel drive, which is pretty nice. And you are welcome for the response. All right, last 2 questions. Any news on the rumored Land Cruiser FJ? Nothing yet. Toyota's keeping some lips sealed. Hopefully, if that is coming out and it's like a crossover, hopefully it comes out with the Stout, if the Stout is also coming out, right? And then last one is, this is a good question to wrap up on. If you didn't drive a Toyota, what truck would you be going with? Currently have a 2015 Tacoma, debating on a new gen Tundra, or going with a 5.7 or a 2500 Chevy for future towing needs. So that's probably, well, I don't have towing needs right now, but if I did have towing needs, it would be a Chevy Duramax, like either a Denali or the AT4. I think that the AT4s look really, really cool. I know that some newer trucks have their issues and stuff. I've always been a fan of the Ford Raptor, even though you could build up a Ford Tremor or a Ford F-150 to be like better than a Ford Raptor. I've just always thought that they were so cool. So a guilty pleasure would be like a Ford Raptor R, but it's like $100,000 for that truck. But that would be just such a cool truck to have one day, is a Ford Raptor R. I would rather have that than the new or the Ram TRX. But I am interested a little bit in the Ram RHO with the Hurricane engine. I think that will be a pretty cool truck for the price, right? That would be really cool. But yeah, it would be a Ford Raptor probably, or a GMC AT4 would be the trucks that I would get that weren't Toyota. And I am on the hunt too. If I come across a good one, a clean one, a 2019 Toyota Tundra Tier D Pro in Voodoo Blue. I think that truck is really cool. And that would be my 5.7 V8, and that would be a truck that I would want to hold on to for a while, just because I never really experienced the second gen Tundra that much. But I think that it would be cool. And then one more thing, Sonny says the lack of acoustic glass is a big miss in the Land Cruiser. I 100% agree with this. The fact that the vehicle does not have acoustic glass is like, come on, Toyota. Come on. No, I 100% agree with that. So guys, I appreciate you all coming out. Hopefully we get more Tacoma news later this week. I will be able to make a quick little update video for you guys. And then hopefully I can get the truck back to start installing parts on and stuff. And then we have more Land Cruiser content coming for you guys. I also have the 1794 video to go up as well. And then I need to start doing some more short form content. If you guys aren't aware, over on the community tab, I'm not sure how it shows up if you guys are on the computer or if you're on your phone, but if you go to my YouTube channel, that's where I'm doing updates for the channel as well. So I like to do just posts there and stuff, and just give you guys little updates versus just making a whole video, because as I've started to kind of enjoy making videos a little bit more instead of just having to get like a quick news thing out and just being a little bit more, not elaborate with the videos, but just editing a little bit more. I don't like just throwing videos out there anymore. So like just quick information stuff I've been posting over on the community tab, and I will eventually also be making short form videos if it's just something real quick for information for you guys. So I think that's the kind of like mini pivot we're gonna do with the channel. But everyone, thank you for coming out. Ray, thank you so much. Guitar Dude, Daniel, appreciate everyone in here tonight for everything, and I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys later. Have a great night.